All right, everybody, welcome back to Beer O'Clock. Amy Matthews from Boy Meets World. I used to love this show.
You know, this is one that I'm not really that familiar with, admittedly.
That's shocking. You know Topanga, at least, right?
Of course.
Okay, yeah, you have to know that, my gosh.
I don't understand the infatuation, but yeah, I know of the character.
If you were to throw her on this tier list here, but it was a tier list of hotness, what letter would she get?
High C, low B.
Comments. I'm really counting on you guys to chime in on this.
I'm going to get impaled for this.
I want to see what people think. Angela Bauer from Who's the Boss? Big blonde hair. Aunt Becky. I think Aunt Becky is our first example of a truly hot mom. Aunt Viv. I was going to put her in A, but then I think about this. Carlton and Hillary. We're kind of a mess. Carol Foster Lambert, Suzanne Summers from Step by Step. She's a hot blonde mom, and that's about it.
Easy A for me.
I'm not even going to belabor the point. I'm going to agree on that. Hey, there's Peanut, everybody. Look at Peanut. Like and subscribe for Peanut. I guess she's like licking her, well, not balls.
Peanut, you're on camera. Hey, that's my girl.
Kitty Forman. I love this picture.
S tier. Easy S tier.
You think S tier? Okay, explain yourself. Explain yourself.
Well, I mean, for one, I think she's got the super nailed down supportive mom, you know, where like the son is literally the best thing in the world that's ever happened to her. Also is the provider, always has to have make sure you have your sandwiches when is like probably feeding all of the friends when they come over. Is like the cool, approachable mom, but like still backs up Red whenever he's a huge dick, but he's like justified in being a dick, like she'll back him up on that. So it's not like she's a huge pushover, but she's still like, man, your mom's awesome, kind of vibe. Like, she's just an awesome mom. I want to hang out with her.
Okay, you sold me, man. You sold me. We'll put her in S.
If she was my mom, I would grow up and I would want to go out to. I'm taking mom out to eat today. Mom and I are hanging out because she'd drink a margarita with you.
Exactly. Yeah. No, man. You are. Yeah. You sold the hell out of me on that. Like, not only did you convert me, like you got me digging my heels in. No, yeah. But I mean, I was gonna put her in A even, but like no. But seriously, think about it. Is there anything unlikable about Kitty Forman or Claire Huxtable for that matter? It's just I can't think of a single negative thing about them. Solid S tiers. They both deserve it.
Solid S tier.
So at the last minute, Adam started suggesting a bunch of cartoon moms, and I love
how you say that. You make it sound like I'm like, don't forget about my cartoon, Steve.
Well, it started with Marge Simpson, who we're going to get to in a minute here. But then he was like, well, what about Lois Griffin? And I was like, well, dang it. I guess if we have Marge, we have to have Lois. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Was that in the 90s? Because this is 80s and 90s sitcom moms. And I go and I looked, and Family Guy premiered January 31st, 1999. So she got 11 months of 1999.
And I gave Steve the option to leave her off. Full disclosure.
He did.
He opted to include.
So we're going to rate Lois Griffin. Why don't you go first, since this was one of your suggestions?
Overall mom aspect, not the greatest. Louis is a psychopath. Chris is an idiot, and Meg is just Meg. What can be said about that? No one likes her. She doesn't even like Meg.
Did you call Stewie Louie?
Did I say Louie?
I think you might have said Louie. Rewind if it to see if he said Louie.
Louis is a psychopath.
Louis is a psychopath.
If I said it, don't include it.
Hey!
We're definitely including it.
But up points for procreating with Peter Griffin on multiple occasions. And I guess living every day, which would be the spontaneous hellscape that I think living in the Griffin household would be.
Seriously.
So, who is going to be a great mom in that type of situation? So I don't think it's not all Lois's fault. That being said, I think overall she's a B. She's a B mom.
A B
but
mom.
She's not perfect.
I was going to put her in C, but we put Jill Taylor in B, so I'm going to let you have Lois in B.
Well, what's your argument for C?
Well, maybe really kind of all the things that you just said, but in my mind, that equals a C.
I mean, I can see it being a C.
I
Comedy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just negatives in that whole thing, like with the Family Guy. But again, that's what you get though with an animated family, though, because I mean,
Well, I guess you can't be a B mom and dislike one of your own children. So yeah, maybe we should go see.
Okay, yeah, let's put her in C for now, and then we're gonna skip to Marge Simpson then. And this is what I would say, kind of to contrast what you just said about Lois. Marge loves all of her children, and she loves Homer. Yeah, to a fault. Yeah, she's not perfect, and obviously her kids are screwed up and stuff like that, but she is a very loving and supportive mother. And I mean, obviously there's hyperbolic things that happen in that show or whatever. I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but it's a cartoon family though. But I would kind of give her the bump up to B, purely for the fact that she's a much more loving figure than you see in Lois.
Easy A.
Oh, you give Marge an A?
I give Marge an A.
Give Marge an A. You know what? I'm okay
Living with
that.
Homer Simpson alone, you get an A.
Oh, good Lord, yeah. You know what I'm noticing here is we're starting to get the face shape again, like we did in the medieval torture devices list.
It's like a social experiment of how we rate things. It's like we're conditioned a certain way.
All right, we're gonna skip to Susan Clark. Was it Catherine? Shoot, what is it?
2,000 years later.
Anyway, she's the mom from Webster. Catherine Calder or something. She's got like a long ass name in this show. But yeah, neither I had to include her because Webster is a show that I remember from my childhood. I always thought that she was a dude because she's got that super short hair. But bear in mind, I was very, very young when I saw this show. I'm trying to find when it premiered 1983. I wasn't even 3 years old when this premiered.
I was born.
September 16th, 1983. I wasn't, my birthday's in October, so I was almost 3 when this show came out. So don't fault me too much, but yeah, I thought she was a dude when I watched the show as a kid. But I had to include her because I remember Webster. I remember liking Webster, and she's the mom from Webster. That's the only reason why she's on here. Neither of us have any thoughts or feelings or whatever about her character. I think she gets an F for that.
I got nothing.
While we're going backwards here, what about Roseanne?
I think we should clarify. We are separating the art from the artist.
Yeah, we're not talking about Roseanne Barr. We're talking about Roseanne Arnold.
About the character Roseanne
Conner.
Roseanne
Conner. Yeah, Roseanne Conner. Yeah, so that's not Arnold. That's Tom Arnold.
Two very distinct people.
Yes, Roseanne Conner, not Roseanne Barr. We're gonna have a disclaimer on screen right now. But yes, we are absolutely separating the art from the artist here. So I was explaining
this is the hardest one for me.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
Yeah, because I feel like I identify with a lot of how I grew up in Roseanne, in the show Roseanne.
All right.
Like with the way, like, her parenting style, it was very similar in many ways. So it's like it gets me in like a lot of like nostalgia feels, right?
Huh.
Now that being said, I don't think that all the way that she did all the things were very healthy, right? So, without the expense of turning this into a therapy session, I think that it's, for me personally, I can't be too hard on Roseanne as Roseanne Conner. I don't know. I gotta go.
Hold on. Like, think about it like this. Now look at the rest of the list here. I think the ranking has to be, like I said, we're ranking off of vibes here. This isn't like a hard and fast thing. But I think there also should be like a little bit of comparison of looking at the other people on the list here. You feel free to pick whichever tier you feel like she belongs in. But I'm going to tell you first of all where I would put her. I would put her in the lone D tier down there.
In the D tier. Okay.
The reason why though is look who is above and below her. I don't think she's, as forgettable as the people on the bottom. but I also would not put her on the same tier as Amy Matthews or Aunt Viv number 2. I don't know how to compare her to Lois. That just seems laughable to me. But for me personally, I think it's maybe a D plus. But that's why I would put her on D.
Okay. Then I'm good to definitely meet in the middle and go C.
Okay. I can accept that.
Okay.
Maggie Seaver from Growing Pains. I had such a crush on this lady as a kid. She also had the big blonde hair. And I'll tell you one thing that I still remember to this day about this show is there was a time, like, it's funny because she's wearing her hair up in this picture too. She had her hair up, which actually I think she did a lot, come to think of it. I watched this show like crazy. But she had her hair up, and I don't know what kind of a top or dress or whatever she was wearing. And her husband comes in, Alan Thicke, the late great Alan Thicke, and says, "Isn't that showing a lot of neck in front of the children?" And I remember being like, "Neck?
Neck?
You don't want to show off your neck in front of your kids? What's so controversial about that? Was that like a sexual thing or something? That makes no sense." But I remember being floored at that remark and thinking that was so funny and ridiculous. But then also being, I think the beginning, because again, I was very young when I watched this, but the beginning of realizing like, oh yeah, there is something about the neck actually. So it's like I kind of see what he was saying, but I also don't think it's anything sensual that you should hide around.
There
your children
is
or
something
like
about
that.
the neck.
But I was like, yeah, a lady's neck is a nice thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a weirdo on that. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm like Googling pictures of necks or anything like that. Like that's ridiculous. But I was like, yeah, you know what? Like a nice neckline is. I mean, it's part of how they design. You know.
No, I said send neck pics. Neck pics.
But yeah, I was just shocked at like, aren't you showing a lot of neck in front of the children? I'm like, why the hell would that be a problem? No, anyways, I don't know why I remember that so well, but I do. I guess it's just because of how ridiculous it was to me. But hell of a mom. Went through a lot with her kids. Took in a young Leonardo DiCaprio. Had your son's best friend named Boner. I have a hard time giving Maggie Seaver anything but the S tier. She was very
S tier?
S tier, yeah. To me, she's incredibly memorable. She was very kind and loving, very supportive, all about her kids and their lives and stuff like that. Like I said, they took in Leo off of the street and stuff, and it's just, you know, her son was Mike Seaver, who was always getting into something, and she was still very kind and loving yet instructive. And yeah, I have a hard time like getting her out of S tier. I would accept an A tier. But in my mind, I think she's an S tier.
All right, I'll allow it.
You'll allow it, no pushback, huh?
I'll allow it. I mean, how can I counterpoint any of those things? Which she should have taken in 2 troubled youths.
It's the neck that got her to S.
If she didn't have such good neck.
If she didn't have such a great neck. Look at that neck meat. Showing off neck, that's still just laughable to me. And I know that people are going to be giving me shit in the comments about the neck thing or whatever. This is like, no, I'm not some neck weirdo. Just like, oh yeah. I think it made me realize like, oh, that's something that a guy might look at or something. I don't know. It was just a weird thing. A weird comment for that show. And it's just stuck with me forever, I guess, because of that. But anyways, moving on. Last but not least.
I like big necks that I cannot lie.
Peg Bundy.
C. I feel like she, decent mom, definitely has to put up with Al's shit, but also probably comes home just as drunk from the bowling alley as he is.
Yeah.
Probably out back talking shit about all the people that she knows and gossiping away.
The thing that always has kind of got me about Peg Bundy. I don't know if you're well, I'm sure. Did you watch this show when you were a kid?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not religiously by any means, but I mean, I've cut episodes here and there for sure.
Yeah. I watched.
No, ma'am. I remember that for
I watched plenty of them. Like you said, I was not like a devoted, faithful watcher. I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid, but I still found a ways to watch it because I wanted to watch it. Mainly because of Christina Applegate. But I remember something about that show is that, like, was it Peg and Al had like scheduled sex or something?
Yeah.
And I remember in my mind being so confused. Like, is she not supposed to be attractive or something? Because like it blew my mind that I'm like, Al, what is your problem, dude?
What are you doing?
And I'm like, she is gorgeous. What is the deal here? But then, but I was also very young, and I was only thinking with my little brain instead of my big brain. Yeah, so
Right.
it's like, I didn't realize, oh, she also annoys the hell out of him too.
Well, plus both of her kids are kind of dumb.
Yeah,
They're not the smartest crayons in the box.
right. Yeah, I think season appropriate ranking. I mean, not a terrible mom or anything like
No,
that.
not by any means.
Just not wait. Oh wait, we put Roseanne in C. I was gonna say I thought we had one in D. Yeah,
It's like a do as I say, not as I do kind of mom.
yeah.
I feel like we're the only reason that we have Fs is because we don't really know much about those people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, it's hard to give a sitcom mom anything less than a C because they've always got external things that are out of their control or adapting to certain situations that normal people aren't put in. That I think to give them anything less than a C would be harsh because they're all doing the best they can in different ways. So shout out to all the sitcom moms out there.
Okay, when I edit this, I'm gonna find some of that emotional music from Full House, like whenever they're having the serious talk and the bum, 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 like the
Like the
key-
Full House,
the synthesizer comes on
lesson.
behind it, like while Danny's telling DJ that she's not fat and that her friends are just being mean or something. Because you tied that up perfectly, man. Good job. Everybody, give it up for Adam. We're gonna bring the applause people on right now. But but perfect summary there. Yeah, I mean, because that's what their characters are supposed to do. Their characters are supposed to be moms, and just the moms are people that are just doing the best they can with what they got. And yeah, I think, and I do agree. I think the two people at the bottom are only down there because we just don't know shit about them.
Right.
But they're sitcom moms. We want to bring them out.
Right.
And I'm sure we probably forgot other moms from this era, but just a reminder, the criteria was 80s and 90s sitcom moms. And
You know, I did think of one that would be honorable mention.
Ooh, who's that?
The mom from Wonder Years.
Oh man, I ain't.
Does that count? Is Wonder Years a sitcom?
No, it's not a sitcom.
No.
No, or actually, no. Here, hold on. Let's Google it here. What would you do if I do? Comedy,
Great
slice
show.
of life, coming of age, but not a sitcom though.
All right. Well, then never mind.
Yeah, even if they're gonna call it a comedy, it was not a sitcom. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, there are no laugh tracks involved. That's for sure.
If we did include her, what tier would you put her on?
I'd give her an A.
An A. Okay.
Wonder Years mom. Yeah.
If you disagree with me, that the Wonder Years is a sitcom, let us know where you feel like Kevin Arnold's mom. I don't know her name.
I feel like, you know, it was a difficult time period. There was a lot going on during that. And, you know, like the son going off in the military and Kevin, you know, being in such a pivotal time of his life during all that. And, you know, the dad kind of always being socially detached, being the typical, like, stressed out at job, detached from his family role model. You know, she had held the family together pretty well. Nobody ended up really like fucked up at the end, because you get to find out what happens to everybody, you know, when the show's concluded. And like, for the most part, aside from the dad who dies of a heart attack or something, aside from that, I think everybody turns out okay, except I don't know if the son dies in the military. Brother, I can't remember. But even if that's the case, that's not a mom fault. That's a military fault.
I'm seeing, it's funny because I'm Googling this and I'm looking into it further here, and I'm seeing very conflicting information as to whether it's a sitcom or not. It's generally branded as a coming of age comedy. But this is also
Is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air a coming of age comedy?
Well, no, it's a sitcom.
But he's coming of age.
Situation comedy. I thought you were going to make a coming joke there. Google's AI says it is a sitcom, but then others disagree. So anyways, whatever.
What would you give her?
I didn't watch that show. It always looked boring, so I never watched it. That song would come on at the beginning in the old, was it black and white reel-to-reel video or whatever? I'm like, no, I'm out, man.
Speechless right now.
It was as bad. I hated MASH too, if that helps. Guys, let us know how you feel about the moms on the list here, or if you disagree with our rankings, or if you agree with our rankings, and whether or not you feel like the Wonder Years is a sitcom, and if it is, where you would rank the mom from that sitcom show.
Go mom yourself.
Sitcom. So yeah, thanks a lot, TV moms. You were good role models. Some of you were hot. Some of you were funny. Some of you were kind of.
Some of you tried.
Naggy. Some of you did your best, and some of you looked like dudes. Some of you are hot blondes we don't remember anything about. So, anyways,
some of you are animated and have yellow skin.
Right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
Peter!
Thanks for watching the 80s and 90s Sitcom Moms tier list. What do you think of our ratings? Agree? Disagree? Did we leave someone out? Leave us a comment and let us know. If you enjoyed the video, do us a huge favor and hit the like button. If you enjoyed the video but haven't subscribed, it's not too late to fix that. Check out the recommended video on the left. And if you'd like to watch me and Adam talk about Seinfeld for a long time, check out the playlist on the right. And lastly, if you're a strong independent viewer that don't need no YouTuber, just poke around the channel. There's tons of stuff there. See ya.